This is the new Xiaomi 11i HyperCharge, and as the name tells you, it charges very quickly. But is the Xiaomi 11i HyperCharge just about crazy fast charging? Is it a good phone overall? Is it a good upgrade to the Mi 10i? Also, I know there's a lot of debate online about its pricing, and I'll talk about that as well. So this is the phone right here, and let's start with the most hyped up feature of this phone, obviously the insane 120 watt charger. This is the 120 watt hypercharger, which I was expecting to be a bit more intimidating, but it's actually a pretty compact charger. Now when you connect this charger to the 11i hypercharge, you get this cool animation and the charging speed is insane. In my test, the phone hit 50% in 5 freaking minutes. Yeah, that is crazy. 75% in 10 minutes and a full charge in 16 minutes. I know, not 15 minutes, but a lot depends on the ambient temperature too, so this is close. I mean, that was really fast, but that was with the boost charging mode turned on. Confused? Let me explain. See, by default, the Xiaomi 11i charges at around 100 watts, which in itself is super fast. I mean, if you're wondering, without the boost mode, the 11i goes to 100% in around 20-22 minutes, which, like I said, is super fast. Now, to enable the max 120 watt fast charging, you'll have to do it in the settings. Now, to know the difference, this is the charging animation with boost mode on, and this is without the boost mode on. Now, if you're wondering why is the full 120 watt fast charging disabled by default? Well, first of all, this is to give users choice with different charging modes, and secondly, the max 120 watts can heat up the device a little, especially in summers in places where the heat gets kind of crazy. Now, it shouldn't be a problem according to Xiaomi with all of the protection features as well as real-time temperature monitoring. I also like the fact that Xiaomi went ahead and got the TÜV Rheinland Safe Fast Charge certification. As for the battery health, Xiaomi claims that the 11i HyperCharge retains up to 80% battery capacity even after 800 cycles, compared to other phones retaining around 60% battery capacity after 500 cycles. Anyway, the 120 watt charging is fantastic, no doubt, but when people buy a phone, they buy it for the overall package. So how is the 11i HyperCharge as an overall package? First up, the big new in the 11i is the new chipset. The Xiaomi 11i comes with the new Dimensity 920 chipset that's based on the 6nm architecture, can go up to 2.5 GHz, brings the latest Cortex A78 cores and the Mali G68 MC4 GPU. Plus, the phone has vapor chamber cooling for the thermals, up to 8GB LPDDR4X RAM with up to 3GB virtual RAM and 128GB UFS 2.2 storage. Also, Xiaomi has made no compromises to 5G with the 11i featuring 8 5G bands. Anyway, I'm sure you're wondering about the Dimensity 920 chipset. Now, let me make it clear that the Dimensity 920 is not as powerful as the Dimensity 1200, but it is a good upgrade over the Mi 10i Snapdragon 750G. I mean, just look at the AnTuTu scores, it's a big difference. Now, take a look at the Geekbench 5 scores, and yeah, it's clear the Dimensity 920 is a good upgrade over the Mi 10i's 750G. As for the real world performance, I'm still kind of testing things out, but so far it's been a good experience. Be it app launching, multitasking, or even 120Hz usage. Gaming is no problem too. Here's BGMI at high graphic settings on the 11i, and as you can see, the experience is smooth and nice. Talking about the experience, there's MIUI 12.5 enhanced here, and that means you get all of the features you want. As for the pre-installed apps, there are a few of them, but they can be uninstalled. Now, one thing I noticed is the app vault has these recommendations, but you can switch to Google Discover from the home screen settings for a better experience. As for MIUI 13, Xiaomi has confirmed the 11i will be one of the first devices to get it in India. Anyway, MIUI apart, the chipset is an upgrade from the Mi 10i, and so is the display. Now, I remember my only complaint with the 10i was its IPS LCD display, and I'm glad 11i changes that. The 11i has a 6.7-inch 120Hz AMOLED with up to 360Hz touch sampling rate, 1200 nits of peak brightness, Gorilla Glass 5, and a 360-degree ambient light sensor. So the specs are great, and here's the display in action, and I can tell you that this is a bright, sharp and vibrant AMOLED panel that's also super smooth to use thanks to 120Hz. Now, not just usage, shows and movies look great on this display thanks to HDR10 and widewide L1 support. Now, complementing this display is the one big highlight of the 11i, stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos. Stereo speakers are in a lot of phones these days, so what's exactly the big deal here? Well, the 11i has stereo speakers that have the most beautiful thing ever. Symmetry. Here's the bottom and the top speaker side by side, looks great and importantly sounds loud and good. In fact, this is probably one of the loudest speaker setups of late. Just listen to this. The design has also changed from the 10i. The 11i has the new Xiaomi camera style, which is quite protruded, but this is a good looking design nonetheless with the nice fingerprint resistant matte glass back, and I like how this green color looks and how it reflects light. Plus, the 11i also comes in these different colors and finishes, which is pretty cool. Now, the frame is plastic and it's not the lightest or the most compact phone, but it's fine at 8.3 millimeters thickness and 204 grams of weight. The design is also IP53 rated for splash and dust resistance, and I love how Xiaomi has gotten the basics right. Good old headphone jack and the good old IR blaster. Apart from that, you get the dual SIM plus micro SD hybrid slot right here. The fingerprint scanner is in the power button embedded. You get a screen protector pre-applied, and there's a transparent silicone case in the box. One thing that has not changed from the 10i is the cameras. The main camera is the same 108 megapixel Samsung HM2 sensor, and I'm okay with this because I really like the 10i's camera performance, and from the photos I've taken with the 11i, it looks great too. I mean, details are a given with 108 megapixel sensors, but most photos from the 11i have really good colors and contrast. In low light too, I like how sharp and clean the photos are. Typically this looks good, but I'll have a better idea when I've compared it to another phone. There's also an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, which I have used briefly, and the photos from the camera seem fairly good so far, but yeah, too early to judge. Lastly, the connectivity. The Xiaomi 11i has Wi-Fi 6 support and it has carrier aggregation support. I checked with the NetMonster app, as you can see, and it's there. Talking about the pricing now, the Xiaomi 11i HyperCharge starts at rupees 26,999, and there's also a Xiaomi 11i which has the same set of specs, same design, but it has a bigger 5160 mAh battery and kind of slower 67 watt fast charging, which starts at rupees 24,999. Now, if you compare the 11i HyperCharge versus 11i versus 10i, you will see that the 10i launched at 21,999 for the 6 128GB variant. So the 11i brings a 3,000 rupees price bump as well as a bump in the feature set. There's high refresh rate AMOLED now, a newer faster chipset, way more 5G bands, symmetrical stereo speakers. The 11i has a bigger battery, and both the 11i and the HyperCharge have super fast charging. So the 11i series is a good upgrade over the 10i, and I know people are expecting the price to be around 22k, but I think Xiaomi increased the price to bring these new charging technologies and these new features. Anyway, that's what I think, and I will be comparing the Xiaomi 11i HyperCharge to other phones in this price range like the Realme GT Master Edition or the Xiaomi 11 Lite NE 5G. In the meanwhile, let us know your thoughts on the pricing of the Xiaomi 11i and the 11i HyperCharge. Comment down below. Also give this video a like, make sure to share it, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. Well, that's me signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
This is the world's most powerful tablet. This is the ROG Flow Z13 app.